JBNN will keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones, and in the news, 3 shot, 2 fatally in Westmoreland. 3 people were shot, 2 fatally, at George's Plain in Westmoreland on Monday night. The deceased have been identified as 46-year-old Ryan Williams, otherwise called Bad Cooley, and 26-year-old Tedroy Chase, otherwise called Teddy, both laborers of the community. The injured woman is being treated at hospital. Reports from the police are that about 9:45 p.m., the woman was sitting on a veranda while Chase and Williams were sitting at the front of the yard having a conversation. Shortly after, loud explosions were heard coming from the front of the yard, and all 3 individuals ran in separate directions. When the shooting subsided, it was discovered that the female received gunshot wounds to her groin and left thigh, Williams to his abdomen, while Chase received multiple gunshot wounds all over his body. The police were summoned, and upon their arrival, the 3 victims were transported to hospital, where Chase and Williams were pronounced dead. No motive has been established for the shooting. Lone gunman shoots man, engages passing cop in shootout in Kingston. A lone gunman shot and injured a man along Michael Manley Boulevard in the vicinity of Doncaster in Kingston on Monday, then engaged a passing cop in a daring shootout before escaping in nearby bushes. The incident happened about 1:05 p.m., police reported. Reports are that a cop driving a coaster bus traveling in a westerly direction along Michael Manley Boulevard observed a man lying on the ground along the roadway while a man was shooting at him. The cop alighted from the bus, identified himself, and the gunman immediately opened fire in his direction. Forced to take evasive action, the cop then returned fire and action, which allowed the injured man to crawl towards the bus. The gunman sprinted towards nearby bushes while still shooting at the cop and managed to escape into the Doncaster community, according to police reports. The injured man was assisted to the Kingston Public Hospital by the police. The suspect, who was reportedly injured during the shooting, left a trail of blood into the community. The police later recovered a red shirt from a premises, which they believed the suspect had been wearing at the time of the attack. The police are actively seeking the suspect. Man fatally shot in Mount Salem, St. James. A man was gunned down along a dirt road in Mount Salem, St. James on Monday. The unidentified man is believed to be in his late 40s. The body is of a dark complexion, slim built, about 6 feet 2 inches long, and sports a low-cut hairstyle. The man was dressed in a white merino and black shorts. Residents living at Brunswick Lane reported that about 5:30 p.m. they heard loud explosions and called the police. On arrival, the police stumbled upon the body of a man lying along the dirt road which borders O'Connor Lane and Brunswick Lane with multiple gunshot wounds. He was rushed to the Conway Regional Hospital where he was pronounced dead. Sections of the Mount Salem community are under Zone of Special Operations, ZOZO, as well as a curfew to help quell violence, and St. James is one of 3 parishes under a state of public emergency. Man shot and killed in Hanover. A Hanover man was killed by a gunman on Monday. The deceased has been identified as 27-year-old Devardo McCollum. It is reported that McCollum was at a shop in the Ramble community when he was attacked and shot. The attacker escaped in a waiting vehicle. The police were alerted and McCollum was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Illegal gun and ammo found at wharf in Montego Bay. An illegal gun and 30 rounds of ammunition were discovered in a barrel at the Freeport Wharf in Montego Bay, St. James on Monday. No one is arrested in connection with the seizure. It is reported that about 4 p.m., members of the Jamaica Customs Contraband Enforcement Team and the St. James Proactive Investigation Unit, acting on intelligence, carried out an operation at the wharf where a cardboard barrel was searched. It was reported that the barrel contained a .380 pistol with 2 magazines containing 30.380 rounds. The contraband was seized. Teachers demotivated by poor treatment from government, says JTA. President of the Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, Lawsonia Harrison, has accused the government of failing to respond to major issues affecting the nation's educators. Among the grievances, she said, are discrepancies and anomalies following the recent compensation review, with hundreds of teachers reportedly experiencing issues with salaries paid out to them. Harrison said despite concerns being raised, and requests for recalculations and a technical committee to deal with the issues. Our public calls have fallen on deaf ears. She is calling on the government to immediately respond to a request. She is calling on the government to immediately respond to a request for a meeting to address the issues.
What scant regard for the nation's teachers. All the Jamaica Teachers Association has been asking is for the government or employers, the persons with whom we negotiate, for them to facilitate a meeting to treat with the outstanding matters, the anomalies that have arisen from the implementation of the compensation, the restructuring exercise. We're not asking for additional. All we're asking is that which you have agreed to give the teachers of this nation, that they actually receive what it is you have promised them. Is it that the government is not concerned about the state of education and the potential impact will that have on the state of education, on the state of our children whom we so say we care about? We call on every well-thinking Jamaican to join the call that what is the fair due of the teacher, that the government of Jamaica responds, and responds not tomorrow, not next week, not when they feel like, immediately to the teacher's plight. Do we want demotivated individuals going into our classrooms every day before your children? Parents, I ask of you, the teachers of this nation are deserving of better. They're deserving of better treatment, and they're deserving of the professional courtesy as any other grouping. We should not be begging the government to respond to us. Jamaicans need to decide what quality education system it wants for its children. You cannot continue to have demotivated, despondent, demoralized educators going to school or making the choice, if I really want to continue to do this every day, what will happen to us as a nation?
$160 million separate fraud case set for mention on September 25. One of the 25 separate group of companies' employees implicated in an approximately $160 million fraud at the company yesterday complained through his lawyer that he was denied station bail by the police because he refused to hand over his cellular phone. Jason Grant is the lone accused remaining in custody, as his co-accused were all offered $400,000 station bail in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court. However, his attorney at law, C.J. Mitchell, in requesting a date for a bail application, told Parish Judge Leighton Morris that he was instructed by his client that the investigating officer told him that he was going to punish him for not complying with the police's request to hand over his phone. The judge, in responding, told the clerk of court to prepare to outline the allegations on May 31, the date for the bail application, and to also present to the court the investigating officer's reason why Grant's status is different from his co-accused. All the accused who were present in court yesterday when the matter was first mentioned, except Grant, had their bail extended. The accused are facing charges including conspiracy to defraud, conspiring to engage in a transaction involving criminal property, embezzlement, and access with intent to commit or facilitate the commission of an offense. The court, in the meantime, was informed that the case file was incomplete. A statement and document from the Communication Forensic Cybercrimes Department of the Jamaica Constabulary Force are outstanding. The judge has ordered that disclosure is to be made to the defense once the file is complete. A September 25 date was also scheduled for the matter to be mentioned. Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey, during a press conference last month, reported that the alleged fraud was masterminded by 2 information technology employees who manipulated the company's systems to facilitate unauthorized payments to at least 23 other employees. The multi-million-dollar scheme is believed to have started in October 2021, days after the company's Newport West warehouse and offices were gutted by a fire and resulted in losses estimated at more than $1 billion. The accused are Ron Griffiths, Alton Sutherland, Mission Richards, Philip Biggs, Carlington Reed, Oral Fraser, Dwight Campbell, Leighton Hibbert, O'Shane Grant, Kirk Ricketts, Keori Tennant, Jovane Johnson, Dwight Haynes, Andre Green, Adrian Nelson, Neville Whitaker, Kimani Campbell, Kirk Grant, Sir Patrick Watkins, Sean Sr., Sean Watt, Ryan McLean, Maynard Anderson, Ramon Bailey, and Jason Grant. Operators of illegal garages in corporate area under pressure. Municipal police in Kingston and St. Andrew have been criticized by the public as they seek to dismantle illegal garages in the corporate area in collaboration with the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF. Dwayne Anderson, commandant of the municipal police in Kingston and St. Andrew, said, however, that his team will continue to partner with numerous police divisions, namely St. Andrew Central, St. Andrew North, and St. Andrew South, to put a stop to the operation of illegal motor vehicle repair garages. A number of these garages operate on the side of streets. Since last week, we have seized over 100 motor vehicles of all different sizes. A lot of rats and debris were under these vehicles. Whilst conducting these operations, we encounter a lot of interference and challenges where people normally try to prevent us from removing these vehicles. We are, however, relentless, and we endeavor to ensure that the Kingston and St. Andrew municipality will be a place for everyone to go about their business freely and not be impeded, he said. He warned that his team will continue to go after the operators of these illegal garages, which he said are used at times to park motor vehicles involved in criminal activities. Also, he said that the garages tend to harbor rodents. He added, what we have recognized, based on reports we have received, is that vehicles parked in certain areas are used for criminal activities and people are abducted. We have been engaging with the planning department to ensure we close down most of these illegal garages in residential areas. We have to continue this drive to ensure we provide safety for people in these communities. We have been to several areas like Radius Road, Chancery Street, Havendale, Morton Park, Cassia Park, and Denham Town, just to name a few. Advocates Network pours scorn on PMs Decision to forego salary increase. The Advocates Network has poured scorn on the Prime Minister's decision to forego his increased salary. Prime Minister Andrew Holness, during a press briefing on Monday, said he would not be accepting the more than 200% increase in his salary announced last week by Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark. But Donna Mathis, a member of the Advocates Network, said the Prime Minister's decision does not show solidarity with public sector workers, but rather is disconnect with calls of the people. What he has said has further deepened that notion that what the government does, what the political directorate does, is of greater value than that of the rank-and-file workers, she argued. She said the Prime Minister foregoing his salary does not get to the root of the issue that many Jamaicans have. How does that help the public sector worker who is a teacher, who only saw $2,500 in a pay increase? How does that help the public sector worker who is a teacher, who only saw $2,500 in a pay increase on her salary? How does that help? He's not getting the point, Miss Mattis complained. Mattis was speaking in an interview on Monday. JBN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.